And welcome again. I've been struck with the reading of Mark's Gospel this year on how, right from the beginning, Mark is concerned about the fight, the struggle between good and evil. Good being obviously in the person of Jesus and his message, and the evil spirits, the devil, who is present in that country and held people down, bound, restricted, lifeless. And so in chapter 6, Jesus, having done a round of some of the villages and towns, calls the 12 together, and he gives them authority, his authority, over the evil spirits, and he sends them out on mission. And they go out and they preach repentance, and they cast out many devils. And I was thinking, today also, I presume, Jesus' mission continues. And he continues to send out baptized with his authority over evil spirits. And I know in today's world there are so many evil spirits. But I just want to mention 3 and see how maybe we, as followers of Jesus, missionary disciples today, might in fact respond or confront or even overcome those evil spirits. And the first one I want to mention is fake news. Fake news is a deliberate intention to distort the truth. As we all know, the lovely saying of Jesus, the truth will set you free. And yet, we have instruments today, whether they be television, radio, newspapers, that purposefully distort the truth for a particular purpose of their own. And this divides people. This separates us. And that is one of the works of the devil. The fruit of the work of the devil is to divide, to disunite, to set apart. And that's something we really want to confront. Another one of these that I would mention is the compulsion for immediacy in today's world. I want it and I want it now. And that seems to be especially true as regards information, ideas, knowledge. Who is first to invent this new contraption, this new medical breakthrough, and so on? Or the breaking news we have on television so frequently. Breaking news, it's the latest, and we alone have it. There's a division there, a dividing, which is not very helpful. The other one I want to mention is what I call it bigotry. Bigotry that produces racism. And for all we might say about our country, we've just had Australia Day, we are a racist country still, and probably will be until we appropriate our full history. There's racism here, but also there's classism. It becomes us and them. We live in Broady, they live in Toorak. Or we live in South Yarra, they live in Hoppers Crossing. There's a whole distinction there, a bigotry, a biasness that divides people in an unhealthy and unchristlike way. Jesus was famous for inclusion. And so I want to have a look at what might we as disciples of Jesus do to respond to these situations of evil spirits, dividing forces, the work of the devil. And as regards the first one, fake news, I think, is to be instruments of truth. And maybe that requires that we listen to both sides. Because even in the other side, from wherever we might be, there's always a grain of truth. Not all fake news is totally wrong. There can be an element of truth here and there. And I think we are called to listen to that, as well as understand and profess our own understanding of the truth. The other one would be the immediacy. And I like Francis's emphasis on discernment. To discern what we hear. To discern, is this what I want now? Is that for good or not for good? Do I really need it? Am I depriving someone else? To discern the choices we have to make, so they're not just impulsive choices, a response to the current trend for immediacy. And the third one, I think, is a reasonable response to bigotry, racism, classism, is what I would call encounter. And again, I go back to Francis. The Pope is strong on encounter as a Christian response to our world today. Do we know someone from Brody? Or someone from Turek? Can we encounter people of other races? Do we know a refugee? Have we ever met one? To be able to encounter people with a different perspective, meet a refugee and listen to his story and share mine, because both stories are rich. And finally, if there was one thing I would say, I know it's very unpopular today, but I would say that response to all this division, this work of the evil spirits and so on, is humility. Yes, humility. Take care and have a good week. God bless.